2.2, man, $6.6 million weekend is what we were looking at. That was less than fucking Clerks 2, which didn't have the guy from Knocked Up in it. And I was just like, oh my God, this is it. Now, back when I'd been working on the movie, on Zack and Miri, Seth, as most people kind of know, is a pretty big stoner. Likes the weed, likes it a lot. Throughout the whole movie, people kept coming up to me and being like, Rogan really wants to get stoned with you, man. He says he really wants to like watch footage from the movie and get high with you. It's his dream and shit. And I was like, I don't do that. I'm just not that guy. And I'm working on the flick. How about like when I'm done with the movie, I'll definitely fucking spoke up with him and shit like that. And once all the work's out of the way, because contrary to what most people assumed, I was not a stoner. I'd smoked weed maybe 20 times my whole life. I made all those stoner movies, and people were like, "Yeah, you must love the weed." And I'm like, not really. Makes me tired. Or I don't feel it. I smoke 2 joints and I don't feel it. Weed doesn't have that effect on me. All that bullshit. I was just not a big smoker. Obviously, I'm an eater. You know, I don't like to drink. I don't like to smoke weed. Then I like to eat. That was my big thing and shit. So, end of the movie, last day, Seth's last day. I go over to him and I'm like, you're done after this. This is it, last day. He's like, yeah. And I was like, well, when we're done tonight, would you like to come up to the editing room and smoke a joint, watch some footage and shit? And he was just like, finally! So we came up that night, we smoked a joint and shit like that, and watched footage from the movie, outtakes, sat there talking about the whole show, what a great time we were having, blah, blah, blah. Had a good old time, it was great. I was like, this is awesome, man. It was good weed and shit like that. And I was so impressed because Seth is a functioning stoner. I was like, wow, this dude fucking stones all the time, but like, he's genius to work with. He's always fucking quick and sharp. He's got all the shit covered. Working on other things while he's working on your thing. And this dude is a functioning stoner. It's possible. Oh, good to know. And put that aside. Never really thought about it after that because I went home and finished cutting the movie and shit. 4th of July, that was March. 4th of July, 2008, me and the wife are sitting around the house. Now, we got the house to ourselves. Generally, we live with 3 other people, our daughter and her parents. And her parents, Jen, my wife's parents, they live on a separate floor, so we don't want to run into them. We don't have to see them. The house is big enough where we could avoid them if we want. But I love her parents. Her parents are like, it's not like everybody loves Raymond, where I'm like, I hate your fucking in-laws. I love her parents so much that like, if she was like, I'm leaving you, I was like, leave the parents though. You can't take them, I'm keeping the parents. But, you know, sometimes when you live with that many people and shit, you just, you know, it's a lot of people under one roof. You run into each other in the kitchen and shit like that. And, you know, sometimes you're just like, wow, what would we like if it was just us? So we didn't really date, me and my wife. We met, fucked, got pregnant, got married. And we've been dating ever since. So every once in a while, her parents will take Harley up to this town called Big Bear in California. It's where they got snow and you can go skiing and shit like that. California is a wonderful place. You can always drive to weather. You don't have to deal with weather. You have to go to weather. So if you're like, I want to go skiing, you just drive an hour and go skiing. Or you can just live in a constant 70-degree kind of weather. If you want overcast, you can find that too. The only thing you can't find is fall, because they don't have leaves. It's all fucking palm trees. And those things don't, like, exfoliate, whatever. So basically, we're sitting around this empty house. It's 4th of July, and her parents have taken Harley on. Me and Jen are by ourselves. Now, when I have an empty house, I react the same way I did in my youth, which is I get an instant erection. Because back in the day, I lived with my parents, that was when I would try to get over. The moment they left, like, we're going to Atlantic City, we're going to visit your Aunt Barbara. As soon as they left, I'd be on the phone, like, calling people like, Jessica Kellett, you want to come over and give me a hand job? No? Okay, bye. Norma Matei, you want to come over and give me a hand job? My parents aren't here. Great, come over. You know, and so an empty house to me always meant I was going to come. With someone or alone, I was coming. So being in an empty house as an adult, same fucking effect, man. So like we were by ourselves and I was like, let's get up to no damn good. Let's just do foul things to one another, sexually foul things. Let's bring Satan into our sex tonight. You know, maybe we could sacrifice a small lamb or something. And she was just like, well, we do have that weed in the safe. And I was like, oh my God, you're right. Her friend Trish, 2 years ago, had given us some weed as a Christmas gift. Neither of us being smokers, we left it in a box and put it in the safe. So I was like, yeah, man, we haven't smoked weed in a while. We only smoked weed together that one time. The only time I ever smoked weed with my wife, we were living in the flats of Beverly Hills when our house was destroyed by a flood, which is odd because we live on a hill in the middle of the desert. It's a long story, fuck it. So there we are, living in the flats of Beverly Hills and shit like that. And Trish, again, her friend, one night was like, you guys want a joint? Would it be fun to smoke a joint together? I was like, we've never done that together. Yeah, man, that'd be cool. She's like, I'm gonna give you guys 2 joints. She gave us 2 joints, and me and Jen were like, let's do it. So it was at night, we're watching TV, we smoked 1 joint all the way down. We're cigarette smokers, so we smoked it like a cigarette. When it was done, I was just like, I don't feel anything. Do you feel anything? She's like, no. I was like, pot never fucking affects me. We should smoke the other one. That's the only way we're gonna feel anything. We smoked that one all the way down, and I was like, nope. Oh my God, you know. I forgot, it takes a little while to catch up and shit like that. And she was like, Kevin, you're green. And I was like, you're stoned. She's like, no, you're stoned. You're too stoned because you're green. Look in the mirror. And I looked and my pallor was green and shit. And I was like, the fuck out of here, man. There's too much dye in this weed. I was like, what we need right now is fucking food, man. We can't be this high without fucking food. The beautiful thing about Los Angeles, they have convenience stores that you call up and be like, okay, I'll take a pint of Ben & Jerry's and I'll take a pint of Haagen-Dazs. You pick the fucking flavor. I'll take 2 sandwiches, a bag of Pringles, a 6-pack of Coke, bring me some liquor, bring me Pampers, and dog food. And they take your credit card number and you hang up, and in 20 minutes they show up at your door with everything you asked for. It's amazing. It's fantastic if you're a stoner, because when you're fucking really gone and inebriated, you don't want to fucking think about leaving the house, but you do want Ben & Jerry's ice cream. So you just call them up and you're like, Ben & Jerry, bring it, and they come. So I was like, I'm feeling a little fucking green, man. Let's get some food, because we don't have any food downstairs. Let's call up Yummy. Called up Yummy. Yummy.com is the company it's called. There's another one called Pink Dot. We go with Yummy.com because Pink Dot used to deliver to Ben's house, which is where I even live now. I bought Ben Affleck's house. When Ben had the house, he never had less than 12 dudes living with him, and I guess those dudes would call up Pink Dot, the dude would show up and they'd be like, thanks, yoink, and slam the door. And Pink Dot would be like, ooh, Affleck. So when we moved into the house, we called up to order Pink Dot, and they're like, go to hell, Affleck. I was like, that's funny, that's how I used to answer my phone, too. So we had to resort to Yummy, and we're ordering from Yummy. We call up, and we're like, hey, man, and we start listing the order. I'm going through, they got an online catalog, picking everything. It's just like going to the grocery store, but better, because you don't leave the house. And we hang up the phone, the wife starts laughing at me. I was like, why, man, do I sound stoned? And she's going, no, but you must be. Look at the clock. And I looked at the clock on the phone that tells you how long you've been on it, 22 minutes. And it never clicked why the dude on the other end of the phone kept laughing. I just thought, like, I'm Kevin Smith. So I was like, food's on its way, man, I'm gonna go take a shit. And I go to the bathroom, and I'd never taken a shit while I was stoned before. And it was nearly a religious experience, to be honest with you. It's weird, I don't know if do you ever shit when did you get high a lot?
I have done after I've been high, and it's not pleasant.
It's not pleasant. It's not pleasant. It's not even unpleasant. It's just you don't know when it's began or ended. Like you sit down and all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I'm shitting already. Wait, am I? Because you can't see. I can't see because when I sit on a toilet bowl, I got very big legs, very fat legs. You can't see them because I'm wearing a dress tonight. But if I sit like this, there's a lot of leg chub here. So I can't see, well, number one, I can't see past the gut. Number two, I can't see through the legs, so I'd never know what's going on under me in a toilet. I have to use my imagination and think about it, like, this is what it feels like. Try to build a picture in your mind, a word picture, if you will. Sitting on the toilet, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm passing a small animal. No, it's not. No, it's a rope.